we're going to ask Ben to open up with a statement about his club, and then we'll go to questions for all 5 of the Panthers. Ben, please.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Yeah, we've played really good here the last 2.5, 3 weeks. Had a great stretch of 5 basketball games where we were able to get out ahead of 4 teams and good teams. And on the road, a couple at home, guys put together some great games. And then had a back and forth game with Loyola at our place that didn't go our way, but a 5th game in a row where we played really hard, played good basketball. So we played well, and I know our guys are looking forward to getting going tomorrow night. We've had this team's come a long ways, and Miles and Wyatt and what they've done from a leadership standpoint has been awesome. And watching some of our younger guys with AJ and Trey, and some of the older guys with Isaiah and Luke and Spencer, just the growth that these guys have had, the leadership that we've gotten from the 2 guys up here as seniors it's been awesome, and fun to come down here when you're playing good basketball. So we know we got a big challenge tomorrow night. We get that. Southern's playing better than anybody right now here in the last 10 days, and that's part of the deal. You come down here, you got to have your best. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Coach, you've got Southern rolling in here with 3 straight wins, and they swept the season series against you guys. What can you guys do differently in this game?
Both games were basically 1 or 2 possession games with 2.5 minutes left. Very different games. The first game was within a possession most of the 40 minutes, within a possession or 2. The second game, we played great in the first half and staked ourselves out to a big lead. And they came out in the first 7, 8 minutes and got back in the game. But at the end of it, both games were decided in the last 2.5 minutes. And so we've got to, our guys understand the things that we've got to do well. We've got to defend the block. Fletcher and Lloyd are playing as well as they have played at any point this year, getting almost 40 points a game between them. So you've got to work hard to defend those guys. And I think the 2 starting guards are probably, maybe in some ways as overlooked or maybe as underrated as any pair of guards in our league. I think both those guys are really good at both ends of the floor. And then they've got very good experience coming off the bench, good players and very experienced players. So it's not a team where if you take away 1 or 2 guys, you got a chance to do pretty well. You've got a lot of guys that you've got to deal with, and our guys understand that.
For the seniors, Wyatt and Miles, you guys have been here before, but to make a run, you've got some young guys that are going to have to play well. How much do you talk to them about what they're in for in this conference tournament? Some of the new guys, AJ and Trey Burhow, and some of those guys playing in the Valley tournament for the first time.
Miles, you're first, please, then Wyatt.
I think they're probably tired of hearing from me at this point. I think I take it a little too far sometimes. It's really important to me, obviously, and I think just every detail of every play is really important. So I try to talk to them, but at the same time, it's a normal game. They know how to play basketball, so try not to get too into it.
Yeah, like Miles said, I think they know the importance of playing well this weekend and how big that is for us. But it's just like the regular season and the past 31 games. That's been an important key for us all year, is having those guys play well. So like Miles touched on, it is, in some way just another game. So, we're not too worried about them. We know they're going to play well.
This one's for AJ. You've got Aaron Cook and Eric McGill both playing pretty good basketball right now. How do you feel like you match up against both of them?
It's going to be another great opportunity for myself and all the other guards on our team. They're great players, so we're really looking forward to that matchup tomorrow night. Just going out there and playing our hardest and hopefully getting the win.
Also for AJ, this isn't your first time at the Valley tournament. You came here a lot as a young boy following Panther basketball. What's it like for you now, knowing you're going to play out on that floor for the first time?
Yeah, this is a very exciting opportunity for me. Definitely something that I've been looking forward to ever since I officially became a Panther. Just like you said, growing up, seeing all the great memories and great plays that has been made here by Panthers in the past. So I'm just hoping that we can kind of make some of our own this year.
We're right here. Yes.
Coach, you've got both Cavion Pippin and Sean Lloyd that made the all-defensive team. How hard is it to get past those guys as the defenders they are?
Yeah, and as I mentioned with the two starting guards, I mean, they very easily, I think Southern could have had another guy or two on that all-defensive team. They do a great job with their matchups, and I also think they've done a very good job with their team defense. And Pippin, he has the ability to create some real problems when you get in around the basket, and so. You've got to be able to make the right plays, and after playing against him twice, watching him on film, our guys understand what those plays are, and Lloyd's he's just been he's been a really good guy, a really good player in our league. He's tough, he's hard nosed, he's playing very well at the offensive end of the floor right now, but. I know around our league, people think of him as a defensive guy, and he is. But he's playing really good at both ends right now.
We are halfway through the session. Next question's right here. Todd?
Ben, you've won this tournament a couple years. When you think about all those teams, what did they all have in common?
Oh, I think, and this team's got some of it as well in terms of growing over the course of the year. Some of those teams were much older teams, but that didn't mean that we didn't grow and get better as we went through the year. And I would say most of those teams, Todd, finished pretty well. The last 3 weeks or so, we had played pretty good basketball, and I think in both of these areas, the team we have right now has that in common with those teams. This team has grown more than those teams simply because an inexperienced team when we got started, some injuries that we were dealing with, some of these new guys in key spots, some of the older guys like Zay and Spence and Luke in different spots and more responsibility. So a lot of things we were sorting out. So this one's probably grown more than those simply because we started in a different place. But we've got some good momentum. Our guys know that we're playing good basketball. And those teams, as I think about them, that would be the same. And then the leadership. And, Miles, that was a tough blow for our team at Illinois State when Miles went down. But he's continued in his leadership role. And Wyatt's, he's been a part of it for 5 years now. And so we've got great leadership, and that's been a constant as well with those teams.
For Isaiah Brown, as Coach mentioned, in the last 3 weeks, you guys are playing some of your best basketball of the year, and a lot of that is because of what you're doing at the defensive end. You made the all-defensive team. Where did that change, or what happened that it all of a sudden clicked at the defensive end with this group of guys?
Yeah, like you said, I'm very grateful to have been selected for the all-defensive team. That's one of the things that me and Coach Jake talked about at the very beginning of the season. Obviously, last year we came here and I had a very good defensive performance against Ryan Taylor of Evansville. And, yeah, like I said, me and Coach Jake had a meeting about the beginning of the season, and one of the things he told me was he wanted me to be on the all-defensive team. And, yeah, I'm grateful to have achieved that goal. But we've been playing good team defense lately, and I think that's what's pushing us to play great basketball right now.
Follow-up?
And for Coach Jake, 18th year you've been here, 13 as the head coach. When you look at the tournament overall, how different or similar does it feel to you coming here this year with just how the field looks, the seedings, the way the regular season has gone? How different or the same does this tournament feel?
Yeah, at least in recent years, maybe going back, 8, 9, 10 years, it feels like, when you look at the records with Drake and Loyola being at 12-6, and you look through there and I think you've got 7 teams within 3 games of first place. That part of it's a little bit different. Last year Loyola I think was 15-3. The year before that, I think Illinois State maybe was 17-1 if I have my years correct, maybe tied with Wichita. And so nobody got through the league this year with that kind of record. And I think that what that says most is the quality of the teams in the league. Yeah, there really wasn't a bottom in the league this year. And most years, whether it's our league or a different league, you've got 2 or 3 teams that are a little bit better and separate themselves, and you've got 2 or 3 teams that, whether it's they're young or they've got some injuries or they changed coaches, that are at the bottom. And our league this year really wasn't that way. And so that's maybe a little bit different than most years. And I know, look, we came in here last year and we had the 7th seed and we felt like we could win it. And I'm certain that there's teams playing tonight that feel like not only can they win their game tonight, but they could win it. And that's not necessarily the case every year.
Final question right here.
Coach, when you look at the tape, what has Southern done so well to be so be on this roll rolling into the tournament?
Yeah, well, watching the last 3 games, they're doing it they're really doing it in all spots. Defensively they're good. They've done when we played them the first 2 times, it was pretty early in conference play. They seem to have put more emphasis on their transition offense. They really moved the ball against Illinois State in particular, and in the other 2 games as well here in the last 3. But I thought they really moved the basketball up the floor in a hurry. And so that's an area that we're going to have to be great. We're going to have to get back, and we're going to have to get walled up. We're going to have to set our defense. So I think they've been a little bit better in that area. And then, like I mentioned, with Fletcher and with Lloyd getting almost 40 points a game, when we saw him, Fletcher didn't play in our first game, and he had just gotten back for the most part. Had kind of just gotten back for the second game, so they were sorting out some of their lineup things. And at this point, when you watch them in the last 3, everything is settled now. Fletcher's been back for a long time now. Their lineup is settled. The guys on the bench understand what their roles are. It's just they've got a different feel to them now that they've had a bunch of games with Fletcher back in the lineup.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Panthers and Salukis, 8:30 Friday night. Job as usual. Good luck. Good luck.